It's a working. Yeehaw. All right, Dawn's here. Macrina's here. Lynn's here. Yay. All right, so I have a special guest speaker today. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah.
It is Live with Lisa. It is Monday, October 8th, and I have Alyssa. I'm not going to pronounce her last name for you. Go ahead and pronounce your own last name for me.
It's Lotion. It's not what it looks like.
Okay. So Alyssa, how I discover these guest speakers is I pay attention to what you guys say. So when you comment in the comments, you'd be shocked, but I see probably 90% of your comments. I sit at night and from about 10 p.m. to about 2, 3, or 4 a.m. I'm answering questions in here or on Facebook or whatevs. And I saw Alyssa's comment that she went from no attendees to her classes all the way to 13 with her first make and take. Mm-hmm. So I want to have her tell you what she's been doing. So okay. I'm going to chat for a couple more seconds, Alyssa, because there's a bunch of people coming on today. So let's get them awesome. Come on. So, hey, Christy. Hey, Julie. Hey, Darlene. Hey, Bonnie. Hi, Karen. Hi, Andrea. Hey, Tammy. Wow, good group. So you can, those of you that are watching, you can ask questions in the comments. And I'm going to be looking at my phone, not being rude to Alyssa, but I'm going to be looking at my phone because that's how I can see what you guys are saying. So I'll keep track best I can and then read your questions back. And Alyssa or I will be able to answer. Let's go ahead and get started, Alyssa. Anybody that comes late, we'll bring them up to speed. But this is Alyssa. She's an executive with doTERRA. And she's going to share with you her story on how she went from 0 people coming to class to 13. So take it away, my dear.
So first, I want to say thank you to you, Lisa, because I just appreciate, I'm not on your team at all, first of all. And I appreciate how I have a great team here and lots of education and stuff, but I appreciate how you work across teams just to help people have success in this business, even if they're not underneath you. So thank you so much.
I want it to be easy for everyone. Yeah. Not spoil my team, but help everybody get access to these tools. Right. I finally found what was working. So
exactly. And I appreciate that because I was getting frustrated. I could not get people to come to my classes. I had scheduled 3 different classes, and I think a total of 2 people came to all 3 classes. So do the math.
Yep. And I get not what you were looking for.
Yes, no. So I obviously had at least 1 class with no shows, and maybe 1 person, and no one was enrolling. And I just could not get people to come. And honestly, I think like people get tired of, people have like some preconceptions about what an MLM is, mm-hmm. and all these parties, and they just get tired of people asking. So I got to thinking, what do I like to do? I love DIY. I do a lot of DIY, and I was like, oh, I think I'm going to do some DIY stuff and get people, and maybe that'll be a hook to get people in the door. So I started talking to my upline, and I said, I think I'm going to do some make and takes, and I need to develop this and this and this. And she goes, hold on, like stop me mid-sentence. Hold on a second. Have you ever heard of Lisa Zimmer? Don't reinvent the wheel.
Just use the damn wheel.
Exactly. And so I was like, okay. So I went home and looked you up on Facebook and watched all the videos, and I'm like jumping out of my skin. I'm like, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I don't have to create it myself. And so I was just so excited. So my first make and take, I had 13 people come. So I don't know
how you invited them, because that's okay. The number one question is, how did you invite them that you went from 0 to 13 all of a sudden?
So first of all, I started using people in my network to to host make and takes for me. I host a lot of make and takes, but I use people in my network, my contacts, people who are under me, who aren't necessarily builders. None of these people, there's a couple that want to be builders, but some of them just really like the oils and could think of all these people who would enjoy doing a make and take, and then make and take
free stuff for hosting.
And free stuff. And make and takes appeal to more people than just come sit and listen to me talk for 40 minutes and then ask you to buy something. So, as great as these oils are, people like to be able to go home with something. They sit and chat. People probably stayed for a couple of hours and just talked, and we got off onto tangents, and I'm going to get to that in a little bit. But so I use people, my network, to help me invite and get their friends in the door. And then when I do them myself, I use Facebook. I have like a flyer that I give it. My husband is a PA at an orthopedic practice, and they really need to get into this stuff. So he takes he's as good as an advocate as I am, because he takes flyers with him to work for me. And I actually decided I was just going to start going door to door to my neighbors and hand them flyers and say, it works, and say, and you may not get a lot of people to come, but I meet my neighbors that way. So if nothing else, you're making contacts. They can say, hey, come over for a cup of coffee sometime, because we've exchanged, half the time I would exchange contact information, and then it opens the door. Not that you just get to know people for doTERRA, but you have to know people. Yeah. So,
and this is old school. Like, that's old school. Like, husband, take my flyer to work. Hey, I'm going to go door to door. And guess what? We all built successful businesses before the invention of social media, just that way.
And I swear, I was born in the wrong generation. I am not a social media person. I'm becoming more of one with doTERRA, but I feel like a lot of times people's feeds are so flooded with stuff that they miss this stuff.
They don't see it.
People love personal invites. So the other thing I do is I text people individually. I invite them on Facebook, and I'll give them flyers, but then I text them individually. I don't do a group text. I don't, like, you can copy and paste it. But I don't do a group text, especially people that I know or am acquainted with. Say, I'd really love to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Come to this make and take. It'll be fun. So that's how I've invited people.
Love it.
I think I average about 5 or 6 people per class, which is actually a perfect number.
It is, especially if it's just you.
Right. And so it's a really, much more than that, need another person to help you out, and it kind of really easy to start losing control.
Yeah.
And I love the 5 or 6 people because we all fit around my dining room table. And it's easy to keep control of the group with 5 or 6 people. And so, so I try to do at least, ideally I'd do about 2 make and take a month. But I try to do at least 1 a month. I gave it a little break while school was starting back up. My oldest started kindergarten this year.
Tell us about your family. Like, what I want to hear also is like about you as a person, and an idea about how busy you are, what you have going on, so they realize do it too.
Yes. Okay. So I have 3 kids, ages 5, 3, and 1. The 5-year-old and 3-year-old are currently upstairs watching TV while the 1-year-old naps, and hopefully everybody stays down so we can actually do this. But so I am busy. My oldest just started kindergarten, and my youngest, my 1-year-old, actually was born 10 years early. And she was born at 30 weeks. I was in the hospital a long time. She was in the hospital a long time, and then we couldn't leave the house for 9 months till she was 9 months old. Do you know how hard it is to hold a class when you can't have people, because her immune system was compromised?
Yeah.
So that's when this all just started for me, but I used that time when I couldn't get out of the house, and that's when I started rethinking my business and being like, this isn't really working. What should I do? And so I set up all these systems while I couldn't get out of the house. I did a couple online classes. or my team does, they call it Spoil. And so we can mail people samples and we do a Facebook class. So I participated in a couple of those. But by the time I could start having people in my home again and I could start going out, I was set up and ready to go. I watched all the videos, I'd done all this research. And so even though, like I would say, even though you feel like you have a quote unquote dead time, use that to kind of like, I got my trifold put together. I just kind of strategized, wrote out scripts. And so what could have been, it is frustrating and you feel like, so did my business grow volume wise at that point? Probably not. But then I had all these systems set up and it was a life circumstance. I couldn't do anything about it.
So you were still working, you were just doing different.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess I would encourage people that when you have those life circumstances, it happens. Don't get frustrated. Think about now, what can we do to, you might have to put the actual growing of your business, like volume wise, on hold for a little bit. Everybody has those times. But I jumped, once I started implementing stuff, I could see myself jumping ranks. And so my goal, I'm executive. I'm hoping to hit elite. That's my goal every month, is to hit elite in one of these, I do a goal setting. And so, but I'm busy. I'm a stay-at-home mom. This may be crazy, but I'm planning on homeschooling my kids starting next year. But there are actually a lot. There are a lot of people. There's a lady on my team who homeschools for kids and does doTERRA, and she's a silver or gold. And so I think
there's even a Facebook for it too. So if anybody knows that Facebook, I think there's a Facebook group for homeschooling doTERRA moms because it's so common now. So I want to tell. Go ahead.
Nope, my back. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, I love how you can fit. It was always something that my husband and I had talked about. I always wanted to do was be a stay-at-home mom, but I don't sit still very well, and I like to feel productive. And I like to use my brain. I have young kids, and it gets frustrating at times. And so this is a perfect outlet. And I just love the company and I love the products, but this is a perfect outlet for me to fit that around raising small children.
I love it. Tara's perfect for that. So tell me how, I like people to be reminded, this system is very special. And so, because there's a lot of different systems out there, we tried, we buy some make and take thing off of the internet and do it, and we didn't get the same results that we're having now, where people enrolled may increase some LRPs maybe, but we didn't get the specific results that we get with the system. Can you share with me how you taught the class, what tool you used, what make and take you used, and then how that process went for you?
Okay, so I teach from the trifold. So if you don't have your trifold, have your trifold. And it's so simple because I just go down the panels and start teaching from the trifold. So I just teach for about 10 minutes. And then we dive into the make and take portion. So your people aren't listening to, I want people to know what the oils are, why doTERRA is different before we get started, so that, because you can find oils anywhere these days. So we talk about what oils are, how you use them, and why doTERRA is different. And then now let's move into the make and take portion. I will say, watch Lisa's videos, first of all, because I'm sure you have done this.
I'm hearing some of my words come out of your mouth.
Right. So like I know you have done this trial and error. I'm sure you have done this trial and error. So what you say, there's a reason why those are in the videos. My number one thing, I told you I'd come back to this, maintaining control. I have at the beginning, and I'm still working on this, it is really easy for things to go off the rails really fast because everybody starts wanting to make colors and then I was finding that I get to the end of the class and I can't close because I can't get everyone to circle back around and listen to me again. So, you talk about, doing one roller at a time. And so it's that, you know, if you don't want to make this roller, just hang tight, be patient. We'll get to yours in a second, but we're going to do this one first, and then this one, and then this one, so that people are still listening to you, so that when you get to the end and say, now I know you want to know how to get these oils in your home, I'm going to tell you how to get the best price. Like, I could never get there because everybody was off doing their own thing. Mm-hmm. So listen to the part, I'm not sure what video it is, but listen to the part about maintaining control, and then believe Lisa when she tells you should be
believe me. Yeah. So people are like, oh, I can
she knows. Yep, no, do it. She knows what she's talking about. So do that. So let's see. And now I lost my train of thought. Oh, so teaching. Yes. So I teach from the trifold. We work on our make and takes, and then we do a close. And I talk about, you know, you can kind of prep people for the close at the beginning by saying, I'm going to show you how to get the best price on these oils. And I think you've said this before, where you say, you know, you can talk through the back panel and say, you know, you can get your, and I don't use membership, I talk about accounts, you know, you can get your wholesale account for $35, but we're not going to do that today. I'm going to show you how to get it for free. So build that up, build that up. And then I have a lot of, I use your goodie bag, you know, idea for when, as an incentive for when people enroll. I love the Essential Life book. Those things are expensive. Did you know they just came out with an app? Yes. They came out with an app at convention. It's $4.99 that you can gift. There's a little button on there that you can gift an app. And I didn't know that. So if you like, yeah. So they showed. I went and talked to the Essential Life people at convention. They showed me how you can gift the app. So you can actually, instead of sending them a book, for $4.99, gift them the app. So when people enroll with a kit, I usually will do that. I'll do something like that because I want to give them the tools to look up stuff and not just have the oil.
Put a $1 A to Z guide or essential oil simplified in there. But yeah, that's great. That's very generous.
If they're enrolling with, if they're just doing enrollment, or but if they do one of the higher priced kits, like if they're spending a few $100, I'm going to give them this $4.99 app because
that's a great way to upsell from, I guess I shouldn't say upsell, because what's nice about doTERRA is the bigger you go in a kit, the way better the deal. So I shouldn't really use the term upsell, but that'd be a great incentive for people to get the better kits. Is if you get the 150 starter kit, you can get this free $1 book, which I'm going to give you no matter what kit you get. But if you go to the Home Essentials kit, which is a way better deal for them, then we'll give you this free app, or you could do it from Home Essentials Natural Solutions, just so they pay attention to, wow, these kits really are a better deal. Great idea.
And I have found those people who I the book or the app to are the people who are getting on LRP because they're using their products because they know how to use them. So I will gladly spend $4.99. Yeah. So I will gladly spend the $4.99 to get my people on LRP. The other thing that I love about the make and takes, especially your make and takes, is they are good for everyone. So I had a class the other day that it was 100% members. There was no one new there. So I tweaked it instead of why enroll to why LRP. And we had an LRP class because almost no one in my class, there were a couple people who were on LRP, but not very many people were on LRP. And so, you know, it's not a waste because here I have a bunch of, you know, people in the room that I can talk to about LRP now. And so those incentives that I might have done for enrolling, I did for, hey, if we set up your LRP tonight, here's your little, your incentive. So, and I got people on LRP that way then. So, and I'd rather have people on LRP than enrolling anyway. So,
that's also how you find your sharers and builders. That's people's biggest misunderstanding with having a class where all members, and they're thinking, no, I'm not getting any new enrollments today. What you are doing is increasing LRP, giving them the opportunity. My last class was all members, and instead of teaching the regular class, I taught the regular class, but I interjected and said, here's where I give a testimonial, and here's why. I was teaching them how to teach the class. And it was just all regular members saying you can share doTERRA too. So you can use these for so many things. We're getting a lot of feedback on the video, so I think we'll go ahead and wrap up because people got the idea of what you're doing. So I don't know what all the feedback is from, but it's very clicky. I think our systems are.
I hear it too. I tried to lift my phone and I can't get it to stop.
I think it's just technology.
Is that better?
All right, so where do you get the trifold? You get the trifold at lisazimmer.net/shop. And we have the trifold for US, UK, Canada, Australia, and then US Spanish market. And we are not creating all the handouts. If you go to our website, lisazimmer.net shop, all the handouts listed are make and takes, as well as general handouts for any use, unless it's specified otherwise. Alyssa, which make and take are you using the most? The essentials or multiple?
Essentials top 10, the essentials. And then I usually, when people want to host a class, I will show them make and takes that are available and say, if any of these appeal to you, let's set one up. It's not like you don't have to invest in all the make and takes. Invest in the essentials top 10. That's the one I try to run at least once a month because that gets everyone started and appeals to everybody. And then I've done the emotions one a lot, and I've done the toxin-free cleaning one a lot. Those have been really popular.
Resellers.
But what I do is I just have a little printout of all the available make and takes, and I add to my collection. If someone really wants to do a specific one, I'll purchase that one for them. So because I make it back in my orders.
Perfect.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah.
lisazimmer.net shop for your trifolds and make and takes. My husband just came in and handed me a note. Credit card payments are good to go on the website for all you people that email me and say, I don't like PayPal. And I have to manually message you and invoice you, email you back. Credit cards on the website. So lisazimmer.net shop. And then for the training videos that Alyssa was referencing, lisazimmer.net/videos plus the bazillion videos in this group. But if you need to focus, go to lisazimmer.net/videos because it's a much smaller number of videos, very specific to what we're talking about here. And then the goodie bag that Alyssa mentioned. For all these tips and tools step by step, go to the announcements tab in this group, click announcements. All these turquoise pictures will pop up and they say step 1, step 2. Click on that. When you click on that photo, all the details with that photo is about that topic. So if you're curious about the trifold, click trifold and it has information there. If you want to know about the goodie bag, click goodie bag. If you want to know about tips on inviting, click that step. And then the next thing, Alyssa's goal is to get the make and take or the FAQ systems. So the FAQ systems are when she has these new enrollments, she will plug them into the FAQ system and it will help them learn about what they just got, get them ready for this 7 to 10 day membership overview with you that's in person or on the phone and helps them set up LRP to get them going and answers all their most common questions. You don't have to answer them over and over and over again. And then same thing with builders. If Alyssa has someone that says they want to share a build, she'll have the FAQ builder system. And instead of your mouth needing to be the transfer of information, she can then say, oh, awesome, I'll add you to our builder FAQ system, read posts 1 through 6, and let's schedule a time to chat. And it takes you off and helps get them started so that when you talk to them, you'll be qualifying them as to whether they're a sharer, a builder, how serious do they want to get without you having to say all of it. It really saves you an immense amount of time. All right, I think that's all I have for today. Alyssa, thank you. I'm going to stay on and answer questions. I'm going to have you click meeting because of the feedback and
right
very much and I'm going to message you when we're done because
you're welcome. Awesome. Great. Okay, I gotta figure out.
Log in like to your laptop or something and check out comments and see if anybody's got something specific to you, and then feel free to answer them.
Yes.
We don't share the recipes from the make and takes. We just let people know what tool you got. And then if anybody asks like how much for rollers and all that, just refer them to the website for the videos. Cool. And I'm going to do the same. I'm
Awesome.
try to answer stuff live here.
Okay.
Thanks
Awesome.
for working through
Good. Thank you.
problems with me today. We had some trouble too. So thanks for all your patience today, Alyssa. I appreciate it.
No problem. Bye.
Okay, bye. All right, I'm going to hang on, guys, and answer some questions. And thanks for your patience with that video, because there is a lot of clicking. We don't know why. We had a lot of trouble with technology. She can't mute herself because then we wouldn't be able to hear her speak. Okay, so let's see here. Is it okay now? Is the sound okay now? All right, let's see. Hopefully the playback will start working. So Elizabeth Rathburn says the video is breaking up. Do we do one roller at a time? Yes, you do, Elizabeth. And where you're going to find all this information is lisazimmer.net/videos. I tell you exactly how to do it. And I'll be posting today, for those of you that are visual and love paper and checklists. Guess what I got coming? I'm going to load in here a free checklist. Yes, they have to be unmuted. Everybody's saying to mute. If we mute, you can't hear us speak. It's only two of us. All right. All right. So, all right. Yes. So Kelly Herman asked for a transcript. Yes, we're going to be doing a checklist. I'm going to post that in here, and it's going to say, here's where you do blah, 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 blah. And here's where you say your testimonial, and here's where you say your whatever. So we're going to give you a checklist, and it's going to be free. And we'll load it here. And good, the sound is good now. Excellent. So hopefully this is good enough we'll reload it no matter what, but maybe this is one that we won't be loading to YouTube. But so the checklist, what we're doing now, so just to give you an idea, first of all, credit cards are good to go on the website now. You can use credit cards, not just PayPal. So I want you to know how we have our tools set up. So anything in the files tab here in the Facebook group, Lisa Zimmer, Essential Oils Biz Tips, anything in the files tab is free. And then Michelle says, I'm doing my first Make and Take Saturday. Yay! She's doing the immunity one. So fantastic. Right. So the checklist is coming. I'm just going to tweak it. It's not going to be gorgeous. It's going to be functional. It's just a quick checklist. Don't be afraid to use your handouts and your checklists in class. That's the point. It's the point to let people know you are a normal person with a normal brain and that they can do this too. So if I have my checklist in class, I use a checklist for my membership overview. I know how to do a membership overview, right? I've done probably 600 of them. When I'm teaching a new person how to do it with their people, my own, I know how to do a membership overview like nobody's business, right? But I still use my checklist. I have my oils now what plus recipes, because they're going to have questions and it'll get you off task. You're going to have stories that you want to share. It'll get you off task. Don't be afraid to say, let's go back to our list and make sure we've covered everything. Don't be afraid in the middle of class to say, let me check my checklist quick and make sure I haven't left anything important out. And go through your checklist. Don't panic. Just be normal. Be human. Be duplicatable. Be something that they think, oh, wow, I can totally do this. She uses a checklist. I don't have to remember this off the top of my head. You don't want to speak off the top of your head. You want to do that as little as possible. Angelique just said exactly what I just said. She said it before I said it. She said, I don't have to know it all off my head. So much more duplicable. So that's exactly what I said. That is so funny. So this is 100% true. and you can read a piece of paper and a checklist. Yep. So I'll be posting it, Valerie, and it'll go to the files tab. And oh, sweet. Karen Painter says, did my first make and take yesterday, the Essentials Make and Take from Lisa, made $85, booked the class, and have an enrollment coming in on payday. I want to hear those testimonials because I want you people on Zoom. So Karen Painter, will you make detailed notes, what you did to get your people invited, how you taught the class, how you made $85, how you booked the class, and how you have an enrollment coming in on payday. And we'll set up a time to chat for November or December. Love it, love it, love it. Alyssa had her checklist while she was talking to us. Okay, so checklist. Don't be afraid to use them. Right, so really that's the gist of it. We created this system so that you could be maximum duplicatable. We created this so you could fit it in your life, so you'd get more people there, so the people that did come would enroll, would host the class, would set up their LRP. We've got all the tools in place for you. All you have to do is remember to use them. Moving forward, we're going to continue to improve our processes here. We are going to add the most important documents from the Files tab that we own. So for example, I don't own the rank planners in the Files tab. Those are from Share Success. So I'm not going to load those to my website, but all the documents that we own, we're going to load to our website. We do have to charge $1 for them on the website. So if it's easier for you to find things on the website and get them, great, do that. So like I have my oils now. What if you can't find stuff in our Files tab, go to our website. My website has to charge a fee to set things up so that it can go in your cart. So for example, if you're looking for I have my oils now what plus recipes, that's on the website now and it's $1. So the easy peasy stuff we're going to put on the website for $1. So if you want to go find stuff all in one place now and don't want to hop around from the free Files tab in the Facebook group to the website, you can just load all those things. We're going to get that done in the next week or two. All right, so Angelique says, do you find for team members already enrolled bring their friends to the make and takes? Yes, and that's how you're identifying your future share and builders. So for example, in my last class, or I'm sorry, 2 classes ago, a young lady named Lisa came to the class. She was a newer enrollment and got excited, loved it, had fun. At the end of class, I said, for those of you that are loving this, who wants a free trifold or 2 to hand out to friends and family? And people raised their hands and I gave them an extra blank trifold or 2 in paper form and said, feel free to hand these out to friends or family this week. You can, if you want to help them enroll, let me know. And then I didn't have time at that class to talk to them about upgrading their website and upgrading their account and all that. So when I got done, I went and tagged them in the share and builder post from the FAQ, how to get started sharing with others, upgrade your account, here's how, get a free website, here's how, and I just tagged them in it, right? So that's why we use the FAQ system. Well, she left and talked to somebody at work that week and enrolled them with the Home Essentials Kit. And then at the next class, she brought that friend back, right? So no better way to find your shares and builders than to set them up and build them and grow them, right? So you should be having at least 2 make and takes a month because every make and take you have is creating opportunities, not just enrollments, opportunities for higher enrollments, opportunities to turn, even if it's all existing members that come, opportunities to turn them into shares and builders, remind them to come back and bring friends. And that's how you find your future shares and builders. Do you have sample invites for make and takes? Yes, Joanne, that is in the announcements tab. So anybody new here that doesn't know what's going on, go click the announcements tab in this group, Lisa Zimmer, Essential Oils Biz Tips Facebook page, click announcements, and then scroll till you get to the post about inviting. Okay, excellent. See if we had any other questions. All right, so I'm going to get that checklist loaded today. Again, it's not going to be anything exciting. It's just going to be regular checklist, and we will get it loaded to the website for the $1 in the next week or two. Where my designer's busy with family stuff, so we're just going to do it as soon as we can. So thanks for your patience today through the video. I know technologically we had a lot of feedback and it was troublesome. I just want to give you an idea of how these make and takes are improving people's businesses. To go from no shows to 13 at her first make and take, that's exactly what happened to us. I think we were down to maybe 1 or 2 people on a good day at our regular classes. And we switched to this make and take style as an experiment. It was probably 1.5 years ago now. And my very first one, we had 16 people, and my house doesn't fit that many. So they were actually, I think like 3 of them were sitting on the floor. And so makes all the difference in the world. People want to have fun. They don't want to leave their house for a sales presentation. They want to, if they're going to take the trouble to leave their house, they are interested. So remember that. If you're not closing these people and enrolling them, we need to work on a mentor call just for you. And you can do that by going to lisazimmer.net/mentoring and ordering a mentoring session. And I'll personally, privately help you figure out what you're saying and what you're doing wrong, because people don't go to the trouble to leave their house and to come to events if they're not interested. So we want to talk about that and help you one-on-one, help you get past that. All right. Michelle says, what's the Essential Life app look like? I just typed Essential Life into my app store and it came up. Alyssa posted, she uses the invites and said it was way more successful than what she was doing before. It's in the pinned post. It's DeannaSchuller.com, DeannaSchuller, DeannaSchuller.com/essentials2you. Essentials, the number 2 and the word you. So she used everything from Deanna Schuller. It's in the invites tab under announcements, and those worked better for her. Do you have regular make and takes at your house, or do you get people to host? Both. You should be doing both all of the time. Every class you teach, you should be trying to get hosts, and all the tips are in these videos on how. And I do make and takes at my house almost every week. Marcy Lynn says the Essential Life app is only for iPhones right now. Angelique says, different topic, any tips on promoting for post-convention events? So I just post the post-convention event information on Facebook. Awesome. But you could do the same. You could do invites, personal invites. I want to point out why Alyssa is so much more successful now. One, she's using the tools that work. She followed our videos to the T. Here's what she said. Ready? People love personal invites. So many of you are posting and forgetting. That's why nobody's coming. You have to remember how to invite people to a party before social media came about. You picked up the telephone, you sent them an invitation, you texted them. If you're not doing those things, people aren't going to come. If you're posting it and expecting people to see it, or emailing it and expecting people to see it, you are failing, because technology is not on your side. Facebook algorithms continue to decline, meaning Facebook isn't showing people your stuff. Emails continue to decline. The open rate, meaning people opening your emails, is super low. People actually reading what's in the emails is down to like in the single digits, like less than 10%, right? So you need to be texting, you need to be calling, you need to be going door to door and talking to people. That was key for her. That's how she got 13 people at her first event. She switched to make and take. People wanted to come. She went door to door. She used her telephone. She used her mouth, and she built relationships. So you can't build this relationship business if you don't create relationships. Right. So I'm going to hop over to the questions post. So for those of you that are new here, when you come into Lisa Zimmer Essential Oils Biz Tips, there's an announcements tab. And there's a post that looks like this. Got a question? Ask questions here. Click on that and post your questions. Now there's over 1,000 comments, so you got to bear with me. And one person I see right off the bat, what oils pair well with turmeric? This is not an oils use page. So don't ask oils use questions on here because I don't answer those on here. This is a how to build your business page. All right, so Kay says, just wondering what we should sell at Make and Take classes besides the rollers that people make off the Make and Take handouts. That's what you should be doing. If you are doing more than that, you are adding to the chaos and confusing and distracting people. What you can do is you can have supplies. So I love supplies. I stock large books and I sell them for $30 a book, and you can get those off the Oil Tool websites. I'm hoping the Oil Magic book comes out soon because I like to use that, but I buy the Essential Life book in bulk. I don't recommend doing this if it's not in your budget. I'm a diamond, so I can do it. I buy the Essential Life books in bulk, and then I sell them at classes for $30 so people can take it right with them and don't have to order it online. And then you could sell, you want people to get their rollers from doTERRA. So I encourage when people enroll, I encourage you to add on the new doTERRA rollers. You get 6 of them for $4.75 because they're such high quality. So I tell people it's $5, add on the doTERRA rollers to their order. But if you want to sell other supplies, like I'll get diffusers on Amazon at a great price, and I'll sell those at my events. Hey, the reason they're making $200 to $300 at $5 a roller is they're doing classes with their downline. So for example, if I did a class and I had 2 of my downline leaders do it with me, we're all inviting people and we're all getting the rollers sold. One person, whoever wants to be in charge of the rollers, does it for everyone. But that's how we're getting so much, $200 to $300 a class. Now, my classes, I do a lot of them by myself because I want my leaders to be independent unless they're new. And I usually do anywhere from $80 to $150 a class. Haru, just did an hour with you and can't find FAQ questions. FAQ questions. So the FAQ is you buy that on the website, lisazimmer.net/shop, and you purchase either the customer FAQ or the builder FAQ, and that comes to your computer. And then the directions on what to do with it are the very first page. All right. Kayla says, I have some ideas and I'm super interested to see how others respond. I have a Make and Take scheduled with a woman who is enrolled but has been inactive for a year. She said, please make sure you bring a lot of breathe sticks to sell. Our group will want them. She also posted in her event about them, how much they were. How do we swing this to meet the requirements and requests, but still in a Zimmer way and get them enrolled? I would not take any breathe sticks. I would take one. I'd let her order them when she reactivates her account if she wants. Way to go, Marcy Bush. Brilliant. Show her how many points she could receive by buying them. With this 200 PV a month, it's a huge incentive to place a large order. So I would talk to her about that before the class and how she wants to move forward and help her see the benefits. And then also, if it's been that long, you can also move her in your team, right? So that's a detailed discussion for another day, but yes, I love Marcy's comment. All right. Let's see here. Jennifer purchased the Realtor Trifold. She asked a realtor friend of mine who does well for this area about open houses and using diffusers. He said if you're doing open houses these days, you are not selling. He said, with the internet, people can view a house online, and when people want to see a house, there's no time to set up a diffuser. I realize I need to move on from him. Ding, 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 ding. Just wondering how to approach something like this. What oil blends do you give with the Realtor Trifold? You said balance and calm. What do you use for calm with realtors? So I did a post where if you want to give a sample because you're having trouble, you have to develop a relationship. So first of all, this person she was talking to, I always refer to it as their window's not open. If you give someone an option to discuss this with them and everything they respond to is negative or disputing, first of all, I'm going to address his answers, right? Their window's not open. They don't want to talk to you about it. Let it go. Move on. It's just like me trying to talk to my OBGYN about these oils. Their window's closed. Let it go, right? So it doesn't mean you can't mention it and continue to plant seeds, but stop worrying about it. The window ain't open. Go find someone whose window's open. But let's talk about his response. First of all, we're not telling people that these diffusers and oils are just for open houses, right? We've done the preview video for you telling you all the features and benefits about what this Realtor Trifold is good for, right? So that wasn't the best approach. As far as just open houses. It's a great way to segue and get the conversation started. So that's fantastic. But when they shut that down, so then the response is, oh yeah, that was just one example. We use them to help make decisions to buy, like just reference your trifold. If you didn't have the Realtor Trifold with you to quote the stats on increased sales using certain oils, then it's going to be harder to have this conversation, but you'll want to learn that, okay? And so he said, if you're doing open houses these days, you're not selling. So every market's different. That could be true in that market. That is not true in every market, and that's not true in this market. He said, with the internet, people can view a house online. We're not going to make a decision to buy a house without seeing it. So they still have to get in it. There's no time to set up a diffuser. That's not true. Most houses, right, are occupied by homeowners who want to sell their house. They have to call and make an appointment and say, hey, Susie Q homeowner, I want to show your house at 5 o'clock today. Does that work? And the homeowner is the one that decides. You don't just get to walk up to a house that's for sale and show it anytime you want without notice, right? So that was him telling you he's not interested in what you're saying. Please stop talking to me about it, is what he was saying. Right? You remember that book years ago, He's Just Not That Into You or something like that? And it was about women and dating and how we're not hearing what people are saying. Like he was saying he's not that into you. He's not into what you're having to say. So let that baby go and then practice. The more people, the more realtors you talk to, the more you get shot down with their objections, the more you're going to learn what to say and not to say. People are like, how do you always know what to say? Because I've been shot down with oils so many times. Every excuse in the book, every objection, I know how to overcome it and what to say so that I don't get those objections. If I do get a new objection, I figure out what to say. I learn from it. I know how to prepare better next time. You're not going to hand a realtor trifold to people, and they're not just going to fall down at your feet and sign up with oils, okay? So you've got some work to do. You have to build relationship. You have to give them reasons. You have to get comfortable with it. So yes, the homeowners, what you're asking realtors to do is buy diffusers and oils to give to their listings, the homeowners, so they can turn it on and fill it and set it up. You're helping them fall in love with the oils. You're helping the realtor sell their house. You're helping the people that come through the houses want to buy the house. And they fall in love with oils too. The more we get oils everywhere, the more people we're going to have using oils. So lots and lots of different ways to address that. So when you're talking to a realtor, I don't care who you're talking to. I always have probably 5 or 6 Balance and Serenity 5 mLs in my purse. I hand those out everywhere I go. It's got my contact info on it, and it's called Calm Stress Sleep. And so that's what I use for anybody, not just realtors. Believe me, realtors need calming. They have tons of stress and they need sleep, right? But you got to keep building relationship. You got to let it go when their window's not open. and you gotta keep moving on anyway, right? And so lots of ways to use that Realtor Trifold. Watch the Realtor Trifold video that Mandy did, and it tells you how to do that. All right, Margaret says, how do you get the hand and body lotion into the 15 milliliter bottles without making a huge mess? You pop the dropper top off and you squeeze it in the hole. Who has the best 5 milliliter glass rollers that work well and don't leak? True Essence and Glass Bottle Outlet are the two most commonly suggested ones. This is where I'm going through the questions post and asking your questions. Jackie says, when you do your membership overview with people and make the rollers, do you tell them ahead of time to buy the rollers and coconut oil, or do you bring one to get them started? So Jackie, within 24 hours of enrolling someone, we tag them in the FAQ system for customers and email them, and they find that information in the FAQ system and know to order them and have them ready for the 7 to 10 day follow-up. Do you pre-label your rollers? Yes, that information's in the training video on lisazimmer.net /videos. And that's also in the Make and Take under announcements tab in this group. Click the Make and Take post and it tells you everything you need to know about Make and Takes. All right, long distance Make and Takes. So most of my team is scattered across the country. Love the Make and Takes, but haven't figured out how to do it over Zoom. Has anyone done this? Yes, I do these all the time. And I do a PowerPoint, or you can just open your trifold. So you do Zoom. You invite people to the Zoom. You do this privately. You invite people to a Zoom, and there's a host, and they give them the Zoom link. Everybody joins the Zoom, and you teach. You click screen share, and you open the trifolds, and you zoom in on the trifold, and you read it section by section and show them section by section. So you teach the exact same way. Then when you get to the Make and Take portion, you open the Make and Take handout, and you show them section by section. And it doesn't mean they have to be sitting there making it, right? You're telling them how to do Make and Take. And so you're just telling them if they have these oils, great. If they don't, here's what you want to order so you can do this yourself. But you're showing them in your video how to do it. You can show them how to do one in the Zoom if you're doing a recorded online version. And then you just talk about the benefits of the other recipes and oils. And then you wrap up just like you do your class. And then you follow up with all of them. So hopefully, whether you're the host or you have a hostess, you're inviting these people to Zoom. She sent the Zoom link to everybody. Then you post the recorded Zoom in her Facebook event for everyone to follow up. And you send her the Zoom link that she can send to everyone who couldn't come to class. And you help her enroll everybody. Someone says, I'm looking for oils to use for chemo. We don't do that here. Diane, you'll want to join an oils use page. Donna says, do you have a welcome letter sample? Yep, I posted that in the response to her. I will post that here and put that in the files. Have my welcome email. Welcome email. And I'll post my welcome checklist. Or not welcome checklist, class checklist. All right, we'll get those done today. It is 1 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Remember, when you have questions, the best place to post them, if you want to for sure get them answered, is to go to the announcements tab and click on Got a Question, Ask Them Here. They don't get lost. They don't get buried. I get so many notifications now that I don't see everyone's comments. It gets They get buried in my notifications before I even get to see them all. Try not to private message me or email me. If it's a question about this stuff, post it here. If you've got a problem with something that you paid for, email me. I have my husband working on that stuff, right? So he's here all day. And if you have a problem with a purchase, email Lisa at lisazimmer.net. That way he can handle that. If it's how to build your business questions, questions about a class, questions about where to buy something like bottles or labels, make sure you post it in the Facebook group. That's my job. All righty. Perfect. Sarah says, I have 2 realtor friends that I know that she does doTERRA. I told them there was a trifold coming out that I thought would help them with their business. They both are open to it. See, you just got to find the right people. The more realtors you talk to, the more likely you are to find some that are open to it. She's planning on giving it to them and then encouraging them to share with their colleagues. Excellente. All right. Thanks, you guys, for watching. I'll come back and look at more comments and get those answered. But my focus today is to get the welcome email on there, the class checklist on here, and we're going to continue to get more organized. When it comes to what make and takes you should be doing right now, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So please, you want to order the Women's Wellness Make and Take handout. You also want to do the men's health, holidays, and kids. Kids are getting sick right now, still having trouble focusing in school. So get your kids handout, get your holidays handout. You should be scheduling your holiday make and takes right now. Your holiday make and takes need to be held probably starting October 15th through December 10th. It gets quiet, obviously, the week of Thanksgiving. It gets quiet a couple days before Thanksgiving, but you should have at least 2 to 4 holiday make and takes on the books, whether you have hosted classes or you're doing them yourself. I challenge you to get 2 to 4 holiday make and takes on the calendar right now and schedule them between October 15th and December 10th. The sooner the better. Your most successful holiday make and takes are going to be October 15th through November 15th. Once you get past that, people start getting busier and your numbers start to decline because they start getting holiday overwhelmed brain. I suggest having, if you're only going to do one, you should be doing many, but if you're only going to be doing one, I suggest having one like the weekend of the 10th, 11th, or the week of the 12th of November. You can do double duty. You can do a holiday make and take, and you can show off your holiday items. Personally, I'm going to order my holiday items overnight shipping and get them as soon as possible because launching the holiday items, a lot of them are going to sell out within a day or two. But for those items that don't sell out, I want to have them on hand to show off at my holiday make and take so that people add them to their order and my members make sure and order them. So you should be doing that now as well. If you have not done a convention products launch party at your house, inviting everybody over to see the convention products, why not? Everyone should be doing that. That's how you sell stuff, folks. So help them fall in love with it. If they're a member, help them fall in love with it. They're going to touch it. They're going to smell it. They're going to love it. They're going to order 5 instead of 1. So if you're not hosting classes and talking to people, you are failing in your business. That's how you meet people. That's how you find your builders. That's how you grow your business. So you got to do it. Got to talk to the people. Posting on Facebook alone ain't going to do it. Got to talk to the people and develop relationships. All right. Hope everybody has a good day. I hope you're excited about our website being able to take credit cards now. All right. Post your questions in the comments. Happy oiling. Bye.